What's up, man? I want to talk about Lavar Ball's Undisputed interview. He did an interview today, discussing, trade rumors. We all know the swirling around Anthony Davis. The Lakers want to give up reportedly Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and that center. I forget his name. I always forget the center name. And they said that New Orleans also want four number one picks and four number two picks. And they were discussing all that. And Lavar Ball said some things that were very enlightening, to say the least. One thing I want to say about Lavar Ball, I believe he's a great father in this sense. He instills confidence and he instills a level of a level of confidence in his kids. His boys. I believe he only have boys. He had three boys, and to me, that's a mark of a father. Instill certain to instill confidence, discipline, and all that stuff into your child. And he said on there that Coach Luke, we all know Luke, the coach, and he's been the coach for like what 2.5 years now, almost 3 years. And for some odd reason, it's something up with him and Lonzo Ball. It's been like that probably since Lonzo Ball his first year, and it's something there. I don't know if it's the comments that his father have made over time that Lonzo Ball has been with the Lakers, but he was not playing Lonzo Ball as a second overall pick, because usually in the NBA, unlike the NFL, unless you're a running back or a linebacker, unlike other sports, when you a top pick in the NBA, you play right away. Usually you play right away, especially if you're a point guard. They give you the ball and they just let you go, because a lot of times when you get drafted that high, you're going to a bad team that really needs a lift. They need a shot in the arm. So Lonzo Ball, to me, his the best thing that he does is pass the ball in transition and get up and down the court. Now he's not the best. I wouldn't say he's the best finisher at the rim. He can improve on that. I don't think he has a. I think he's a pass first point guard. I don't think he's a dominant score type point guard. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a traditional point guard, like like a John Stockton or a Jason Kidd. Everybody was comparing him to Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd was the same way. Jason Kidd didn't have his shot wasn't really falling. His first 5 or 6 years, and he developed his shot to a certain extent to make him respectable, and he became a really respectable 3 point shooter as his career went along. But Lonzo Ball is much kind of cut out that cloth, but he was playing weird minutes. And I agree with Skip was used to always say that Luke used to take him out in crucial moments. Those are the moments where a young player needs to learn. He needs to make mistakes so he can learn. Now a coach is there to win as many games as possible. So some coaches do not like young guys. You know what I'm saying? They will much rather go with the veteran guys because they trying to, they got a job on the line and they trying to win as many games as possible to impress the front office. But at the same time, you have to let a player like Lonzo Ball learn. You got to let him fall on his face a couple times. You know what I'm saying, with the experience that he gets throughout the games. But he was getting taken out of the fourth quarters, which in the NBA, most games come down to the last 5 or 6 minutes, and he will sit out the whole fourth quarter. So I don't know what that was about. But LaVar Ball, even, his rookie year was making statements like, Luke Loney is not coaching my son right. And I believe him and Magic had some discussions about him calling out the coach in public and all that stuff. And LeVar Ball, for the most part, this year since they got LeBron, he's been kind of quiet. He really hasn't really said anything about the coaching or anything like that. But since he heard that his son was in trade talks and getting ready to get sent to possibly sent to New Orleans, he came out and made a statement said that he wanted his son in Phoenix. Originally, he said the Phoenix and Chicago, but I don't think Chicago was really serious because Lavar Ball was on the Undisputed today saying that they don't like the cold and Chicago was cold. So I don't really think Chicago uh, a real possibility of him going there. But he said he wanted his son in Phoenix because they like the warm weather. And down in Phoenix, they need a point guard, and Lonzo Ball can make them better. And they are the worst team in the Western Conference. And he said he wanted his son to go somewhere, start with a team that's at the bottom and build them back up. He also said he want all three of his kids on the same team. I don't know if the Phoenix Suns going to do that. It's to me, it's very ambition of him. You know what I'm saying? I have nothing against him saying that or him trying to speak it into existence because first you got to believe it. You know what I'm saying? Then you got to achieve it. So maybe one day he will get all his sons on the same team. He said if all his sons on the same team, the team can become a dynasty. So I mean, he said they played good together. I don't know. We don't never know. We never know what can happen with that situation, but it's highly unlikely that a team will have all three of them on the same team. But he also, what I'm saying, now he's coming out and criticizing, Luke Walton again, and he said one or two things. He said if they trade Lonzo, he's going to go. He want him to go to Phoenix, and he's going to make Phoenix a winner. If they keep Lonzo in L.A., Luke Walton has to go. This how I know Luke Walton finna be out anyway. I believe isn't Luke Walton is not going to be out because LeVar Ball want him out. Luke Walton is going to be out because I believe LeBron James and his camp want Luke Walton out because LeVar been speaking about Luke Walton for the last 2 years and he hasn't went anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And Magic and Jeannie Buss, they'll both come out and say that LeVar Ball is not going. I mean, not LeVar Ball, but Luke Walton is not going anywhere. But now that LeBron James and his camp, are not really happy with Luke. You know what I'm saying? They're not really coming out, defending Luke like they were against LeVar Ball. So I believe he's out anyway. But I believe that the Lakers are gonna have to trade. They're gonna have to trade Lonzo Ball because they probably had some type of understanding that LeVar Ball will dial it back and not, come at Luke Walton the way he did a year ago. And now he's starting it again. And now they having all this other stuff swirling around about the trade with Anthony Davis and all this stuff. Right now, the Lakers are going through a little turmoil. You know what I'm saying? I believe if they don't get that deal done, a lot of those young players are going to they're going to they are going to be out mentally because they know that the Lakers don't want them and they know the only reason why we're here because New Orleans and I want to do the trade. So mentally they're gonna take a step back. And LeBron James, he wants Anthony Davis there. He's gonna mentally check out because he did it last year with the Cleveland team before Derrick Rose and all of them got traded. They went through that whole month where he checked out. That's why, Magic Johnson is going all in on 4-round draft picks, any players that you want, 4 number 2s, because nobody really is worth all that. No, nobody's really worth. But to me, I don't believe they have enough assets to get the job done anyway. Because I'm not that high on Kyle Kuzma. I'm not that high on Brandon Ingram. This is Brandon Ingram's 3rd year, and he still hasn't popped as a player yet. You know what I'm saying? If a player is going to be an all-star and all that stuff, and picked, you know what I'm saying, where Brandon Ingram got picked, eventually by now we should have seen him pop by now. You know what I'm saying? And then the 4th year, he's supposed to be making an all-star team. But I don't see that. I don't see that no time soon for him. Kuzma, I like Kuzma, but Kuzma has a ceiling. You know what I'm saying? I believe Kuzma is closer to his ceiling than what people think he is. Josh Hart. Josh Hart to me is like a Patrick Beverly. You know what I'm saying? He can be a glue guy on a championship team, but he's not going to be your 1 through 5 best players. You know what I'm saying? He could be a glue guy. Like Marcus Smart is a glue guy for the Celtics. No disrespect to those guys. Those guys can play and they can make a lot of difference and they can do a lot of things like a utility player. They can play defense, hit some shots when you need some shots to be hit, rebound, pass the ball. yeah, they can do those. They can do those things, and they can do those things well. But they're not going to be your top five or 4 or 5 players on the team. But and you know what I'm saying. So I don't think the pieces that they are offering is all that like a lot of people think. Like I said, I'm not high on Kuzma. I'm not that high on Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram like he going through the motions. And Lonzo Ball, he's struggling with his shot, struggling with his confidence a little bit, not hitting his free throws. So you know what I'm saying. If I'm New Orleans, I'm looking at that like that package is not that appealing. Now Skip Bayless think that's a good package, but I'm with I'm with Chris Broussard. That is not a good package. I would rather wait for the Celtics. I believe the Celtics have better players and a better package. They can give you Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, and probably like a Marquise Morris and a couple, you know what I'm saying, picks because their picks are actually better than the Lakers picks because if the Lakers give you number 1 picks, they're not gonna be really worth a whole lot because they're gonna have a winning team for the next at least 4 years. So those picks are not gonna be worth anything. You're gonna be picking at the bottom of the draft every year. At least if you get the picks from Boston, I believe Boston got a Brooklyn pick and they got somebody else's pick. I think they got a Memphis pick or something like that. Those picks can be middle of the round, possibly lottery. You know what I'm saying? So that makes a big difference. But like I said, Lonzo Ball, Magic Johnson, them are gonna have to seriously consider trading Lonzo Ball at this point. No matter what happened with that Anthony Davis thing, they should be trying to work on trading Lonzo Ball because Lavar Ball, he's coming back. He's back. He's back. You know, talking. Now, do Luke Walton deserve to be fired? I don't. I mean, the players that they have are they developing like they should be? Somebody made a case. I was looking at one of the shows yesterday. They made a case and they said, "What if those players was on Boston? Would they have developed better? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Certain players flourish better in certain situations, certain environments, certain team chemistries. You know, develop better in certain environments. So I don't know. But what I do know is I'm not all that impressed with